on Ice Daily Show. Hi, Instagram. I'm waiting for Facebook to connect right now. So hello and good morning. I think that we are live on both cameras. Welcome to Clinical Tuesday. My name is Dr. Lindsay Huey, coming to you from Delaware, the small first state that everybody forgets about. I'm here at my clinic, Drive PT, and today on Clinical Tuesday, I want to talk about feedback and performance. And even though Dr. Guillermo Contreras and I did not plan this, it really complements well his PT on Ice daily show that he did yesterday concerning that opportunity that we have to really meet individuals where they're at and providing individualized feedback. So this talk on feedback and performance will really complement that. But before I dive in, I just want to give a shout out about my excitement that I'll be teaching my first weekend live course this weekend at Delta Physical Therapy. I can't wait to meet Kristen and Steve in person and see their clinic. I've heard such awesome things. You've brought the Ice Physio crew down so many times. It is an honor, and I can't wait to check out that gym that's right next door and get a workout in on Saturday. I'm really pumped for that, and I'm going to make it hard because I know you've been through this before, and I got to leave a mark. Anyway, getting to my topic. So I want to share a little bit about why I was inspired to talk about feedback and performance. I'm coming off of this high of being a week at South College where I'm core faculty. And I was teaching MSK1, and that's mainly focused on lumbopelvic and hip. And to see the transformation in our students from day 1 to day 5, where they're able to complete a full lumbar exam, able to do sideline lumbopelvic manipulation better than some PTs that are currently practicing. And that's not a dig on you. It's just awesome to really let you see that picture of the transformation from day 1 to day 5. And it is, I love my job. And it doesn't feel like a job because it's so exciting to, again, see this transformation. Not only is it exciting to be a teacher and to be able to give that feedback and be a part of that journey for the students, but it's exciting to work with fellow teachers with that same passion for changing PT. And I had an awesome crew to work with all week, and in particular, 2 ICE faculty were there with me, Dr. Jeff Moore and Dr. Justin Dunaway. And if you've taken a course with either of them or listened to any of their PT on Ice daily podcasts, you just know that the passion and fervor they bring to their courses and their passion for manipulation and doing that skill well. And so sitting back, both of them kind of inspired me to think more about how we deliver feedback and how we can be most effective and efficient in helping produce learning. And if we think of the definition of learning, it's relatively defined as a permanent change in a person's capability to perform a skill. So not only did I see both of them be very engaging with students and provide that perfect cue to just help solidify, we'll just go with sideline lumbopelvic manipulation, I also got to experience the cueing firsthand because selfishly, I wanted to improve in my supine upper cervical AA manipulation. It's a manipulation that I usually do in sitting and I'm most successful doing it in that position. But I shouldn't say this as a fellow, but I really suck at it in supine. So I really took the opportunity to use Jeff and Justin to really fine tune that technique. And I got to experience their feedback firsthand and the diversity in their feedback, both equally effective, both very attention to detail, but both delivered the feedback to me in different ways. I had, Justin dialing in my body position and my vector so much that he drew a line down my ulna to really focus in that vector. And then I have, Jeff telling me just full send on your amplitude and in your thrust, stop holding back. And both feedback, very effective, and both based on a connection that I have with both of them. So we both are, with both of them, I'm motivated to want to perform well. They're excellent manipulators. I have full confidence in them to give me that good feedback. And, Jeff, I've known a lot longer because of fellowship training. And so he also kind of had a little background of like my incessant perfectionist nature, and that sometimes I'm allowing my internal focus to hold me back. And so it's interesting just to see their variability in the feedback, but both very effective and both work. So why do I bring up this story? Because it's inspiring for me to then think about, how do I provide that best cue? And so, of course, we look to the literature and kind of figure out, what do we know about learning and what do we know about attention and focus in helping someone learn best? And while the literature does conclude that it really is an art and it's very individualized and there is no perfect algorithm, which is what we want as PTs, but as we know, that gray, embrace the gray, we're always telling our students. And if you're a great healthcare professional, you know that that's where you have to live. You have to be comfortable with discomfort and living in that gray. But what we do know is, when you have internal focus, which is focusing on a body part position, focusing what my hands are doing, focusing on what my body is doing, it actually increases cognitive load and demand. It can slow down or disrupt your autonomic process, and it can really distract from your speed and fluency. And let's use an example, like if we're teaching someone the deadlift, this would look like, okay, the bar's in front of you. I want the bar bisecting your feet. I want your shoulders just outside of your knees. I want hips higher than your knees. I want lats engaged, midline tight, shoulders and hips rise together, and then fully extend those hips and knees. A lot of internal focus and cueing. And I would say as PTs, we're very guilty of falling on that internal focus of cueing, really bringing awareness to activation in the body, versus an external focus of attention, which is to complete the full task, where the focus is on the end target, which is just lifting that bar from the ground and up. And you don't focus then on the body. So that would be like saying, hey, Gladys, lift that bar as fast as you can. Or using an analogy maybe, and lifting the bar as fast as a bullet train. There's lots of analogies you can use, but that external cue has been proven and shown to just increase efficiency and speed and decrease that cognitive load. And so if we know this, and this is literature that's in the 2009, 2010, this isn't new literature, it's something we know. I found myself thinking, why are we still cueing and teaching skills, whether it's teaching our students, or if we have mentees in our clinic, or just teaching our patient every day? Why are we so focused on the body part and the activation and lats activated with our deadlift? And part of that is because we don't have that perfect algorithm, and everybody is different. Every individual needs different types of cueing. And we do know that the perfect cue is the one that works, and that is going to be variable. Think back to a time where you were trying to teach a patient an exercise and they just weren't getting it. No matter what you said, you did your normal kind of spiel about that exercise, whether it's the deadlift, the glute bridge, the single RDL, but it wasn't clicking. And those are the moments, and especially more recently, I'm on that 10 plus years now of my career, I'm really trying to dial in how I'm giving feedback, and doing less is more, do less better. And you've heard that message consistently with ICE Physio, if you've listened to any of the podcasts or been to any of the courses. And so I want to challenge us today, and challenge myself, and even challenge me this weekend. So Delta Physical Therapy in Baton Rouge, please hold me accountable when I'm teaching, to give less and help you self-discover learning by cueing more externally. And I think this is hard for us as PTs, because if we do an honest self-reflection, I think we want to show what we know. We went to school for, whether it's now 2 years hybrid program or 3 years, and a total of at least 7 to get that doctorate. And some of us have even gone on to do more schooling and more certifications. We want to talk. We want to tell you what we know. And if I'm honest, I am giving a lot of internal cueing. And while I'm trying to work on it less right now, I still haven't mastered that. And so I just want to challenge us all to, even today when you go into the clinic, when you're teaching an exercise, can you deliver it with more of an external focus on the full movement. Because as PTs, if we want to promote that movement freedom and exploration, we need to stop cueing every little body part and to be perfect. And that's hard for me to say coming from a recovering perfectionist. Thanks to Brené Brown, I'm working on that you can't be perfect. And patient movement can't always be perfect. And understand there are some outliers. Experts in movement or in our fitness athlete where you're doing a lot of high volume and load, you do want to work on form that is consistent and that will keep you safe. And so it's always a balance, right? It's always a gray. But again, that challenge to do less better. The other part of this is that connection piece. So I mentioned, with both Justin and Jeff, just having a great friendship with both of them and then respecting them and looking up to them as teachers and leaders, that's a part of this too. Think about any course you've been to or a past class you've had, or even when you were in DPT school, or if you're there currently, think about someone that gave you harsh or constructive feedback with no positive feedback or celebration or high five when you did something well. Or think about someone that was just so quick and gave so much that you couldn't process it. Those were hard times to solidify learning. And so if we can hold ourselves accountable to, like I said, do less better, but then also connect with the human in front of you. We know that when we are dialed in and know a patient really well, especially those patients that come back, return patients, it's really easy to know the cues that help them. But how about the patient that is new to you, that you just are having a hard time cueing? Take the time to sit back and reflect. Is it something that you can do better by giving less? And I actually want to take this opportunity to stop talking and leave you just with that challenge, that I want you to promote overall movement excellence by saying less today and throughout this week. I thank you for your time this morning, and I will see you again in about a month.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.